What up, family? Episode 214. Excuse me while I grab the cat. She's demanding to be put up here. Hope all is well with you. Things are going well. I hope for those of you who've entered the remix contest, I'm looking forward to hearing your submissions next month. So we're excited for that. They keep rolling in, along with submissions for the demo and track feedback sessions. I love seeing people trusting us with their art and cool with me providing feedback on it and also sharing it with the masses. So that's cool. That episode is a new fresh episode for that's coming next Tuesday. I decided to get to this one, our weekly production stream, episode 214. The intention here is to I guess finalize a sketch which is pretty much done. I'll show you the project here. um it it's pretty much done. It's just the it's funny, like I wrote this long time ago. For if you've been on my Patreon for some time now, you'll see the project revealed. you know that was actually another album I was gonna make, and then it just turned out to be about three different solid EPs. The concept just didn't come together, but the beats were cool. So um, I forgotten about this track, and I had it on an old demo playlist, and I shared the playlist with a label recently, and but it was only like this piece. Let's listen. That's my drive. It's bumping, right? It's bumping. Oh yeah, I did play the bass on that because I was like, man, the bass sounds pretty good. It's bumping, but it's missing the kick for whatever reason. Um, it can't seem to find our infamous kick number three. So that might be indicative to try another kick out, which we will do in a hot second here. Uh, and I'm kind of dreading this a little bit because it's an older sketch. Looking at my screen here, if I look across the buses, yeah, this is mad old. Uh, we still have the Shadow Hills compressor on the drum bus. We don't have dirt, but that's an easy fix. I can just change that. Um, it's funny. Let's see if this is here. This is my snare bus. Let's double click that. Yeah, okay. The DBX 160 is chilling on the snare bus. But we are missing the the crazy buses that have been giving me so much more headroom, 4 to 5 dB more headroom, which is the tops bus, the low bus, and our music bus. So when I'm ready to do the final mix down of this track, I definitely need to place those in there. I probably will do just a cool mini episode for those of you who are paid subscribers, just showing how I add and set up those buses, and we'll do it to this particular project. I think it'll be a good time to see how that's done. But for now, let's just focus on finishing the sketch. Well, the sketch is finished technically. It's just more of a matter of completing an arrangement for this project. And, I also need to find a vocal. So a good episode should be a meaty and fun one. All right. So we are missing a kick. So that is the first thing we need to sort out here. Let's go into Loop Cloud. I don't understand why this has happened. It's very strange. Um, I wonder if I even got like an EQ on it. Yeah, I got processing right here. It's just not, the sample isn't there, which is strange. But like I said, that might be some serendipitous work at play. Are you going down? All right, the cat has left us. Okay. Yeah, so first things first. I know it's E flat minor, so there's E flat. Let's search. Uh, I'm gonna go with kick number 3 because it worked well. I don't want to. Well, actually, I'm curious now. Let's get our Wajid kick here. There we go. Well, that's at the store. I was like, that doesn't sound like the one I like. Oh, this is the one I love. Okay, let's listen to it against the dog. Yeah, I'm not too sure about this one. Seems to be getting lost in the mix a little bit. I mean, we'll export it out and see how it sounds. Once it's processed, it might sound very different, but I highly doubt it. Let's see here. Oh. Okay, let's gain stage that kick. And that's a nice arrangement idea that I think I'm definitely going to use, where just the kick drops out and everything else is playing. Like this sound, I can't remember. Where did I get this from? I think this is the ASM. All right, let's just get arranging straight up. This is beat break. Oh shit. Beat break. So this is going to be beat break 1. Beat break 2. Main loop. It's a nasty loop. It's chopped up, but that noise filter, and thank God. I don't know if you noticed these. My desktop looks a little different up here. I don't know if you can see that in the frame. Probably easiest just to show you my background here. Yeah. So if you are on Sequoia, you'll know this background is from that OS. And this upgrade, shouts out to Ray, any other community members, Mario Tavares and Jasmine as well, Danats. I think it was Danats. I think he jumped in a conversation. I was super worried about this upgrade because I was on Ventura, and I like to stay back, at least a full version, but I wasn't sure how this would have went. And man, it went streamingly well. Like I was not only was it fast, but there's no hiccups with the installation. Everything works. It's crazy. So I guess that's a testament to how far technology has come. And that started off my week pretty nice. This has been a really great week. I'm quite grateful for everything that's going on. Grateful for this Patreon community. Grateful for my health. Um, God's good, man. It's great. Straight up. Okay. And I'm not high. I'm just saying my thing. All right. Now that we got the homie Wajid's kick in there, Wajid from Detroit. Shout out to Wajid, man. If you knew how much I was killing this kick, you'd probably be a little surprised. But he really shouldn't be. It's a great kick. All right. So we start the kick there. And I'm going to just loop that across. All right, so I think we're good. This kick is nasty. Yeah. Let's put that processing on it, man. All right, so while we're here, let's just swap out. Let's just change this to dirt. Oh, and I love this. Since upgrading the OS, I got to upgrade Logic, and I love that you can search the plugins now. It's so much easier. Look at that. That is beautiful. Got dirt right there, yo. I wonder if I should make the stereo though. I'm only using it parallel. Change that. Oh yeah, okay. It's stereo. Well, and if the signal going to it's mono, I'm having a conversation with myself. If the signal going to it is mono, you should be fine, D. I had a preset for this, man, that I built. Hold up. Let me. There we go. Power drummer, Demuir preset. All right. So we got our drum bus up and running. So let's just see before we start arranging stuff. See if we could make these beat breaks sound any better. It's interesting. I got one stereo and one mono. So wondering why that is. Oh, that's why. So I left this stereo because. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So I left that stereo, beat break 1, because there's a bunch of stereo information in there. You can see it bouncing on the sides there. This is mono. It's just right down the line. You don't see any variation in the channels. All right, so let's see. Let's just make sure it's gain stage first. Man, these are crispy. 2 beat breaks and they sound like one. Oh, I gotta update my template, man. This punch setting. Oh no, I pushed it up. Okay, that's me. Yeah, this one. Why would I take out the punch in this? Oh, so I did this intentionally. It's been a while, man. I created this probably late 2023. Okay, so the EQ is cool. Probably good, pretty good for an intro. I don't know why I just want to carry this right across. That's very inefficient. So let's carry this across. This one I understand because it looks like I chopped this up, yeah, to create a variation in the beat break. But even still, I guess I should merge it. Let me do that. So we're gonna merge. So we got like 2 bars of that. That should be good to just take those 2 bars and drag it across. So let's see what it sounds like. Okay, that seems to work for me. I think this main loop is fine. Cool. So this will be our kick. Let's name all of those accordingly. Name regions by track. All right. Something else I wanted to do here. Oh yeah. So the beat breaks. I want to see, originally I wanted to see if we can make those sound better by sending some of that signal to the drum bus. So let's try that now. Bus 13. Crazy. That drum bus has guts, man. Okay, so sent a little bit of signal to the drum bus there. Let's try this. Okay, I think that sounds good. We'll be right back. All right. Okay. So we sent a little bit of the beat break signals to the drum bus. Let's double check, because we mix as we go along here. Let's check the gain stage on the bass line. It's very loud. There, should be there. Minus 6 dB. You want back up? Come here. Your cat wants back up. Let's close the door, baby. All right. So the cat is back. We've gain staged the bass line. Probably get away with minus 10 on the fader here. Nice and round at the bottom. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so let's process the snare a bit. Let's listen. So just added that 12-bit magic from the bit crusher. And last but not least will be the Pultec. Okay, that's good for the Pultec there. Let's make sure we're gain staging now that we've added the Pultec and bit crusher. So let's check it out. Yeah, so it's a bit loud. Let's bring that down. Bring it down right here. Still a bit high. Okay. That sounds good to me. Let's get some of the low end out of that snare. Pro. There we go. 100 hertz, right out. Got away with even more. That snare is kicking, man. Oh, that's the bass. Oh, this is the snare. Jeez, it's still like. Let's get some gentle compression on it from the snare bus. Wow, it comes up. You just type in, wow, I love that. Good upgrade logic. Might edit that snare a little bit in Machine Sampler after. But let's go over to the snare bus. Let's EQ. We just need a low cut here. Why is it doing that? Oh, there. Okay, let's see what we get. Send some of that signal to the drum bus. See what we get. Listen to the drum bus. Let's EQ this other snare. Like the little ghost note action coming off of this other snare. Just sounds nice rhythmically. Okay. Let's check the gain stage on the snare here. Really should process this. I'm gonna go for a presence EQ from the Pultec on this snare. Presence, where is it? There we go. And then we'll just EQ it. Gain stage it down. Yeah, we cut out the lows nicely. Let's push that through the snare bus too. Just a little bit though. That's full on. I like how that sounds. That's working for me. This is the snare going to the stereo bus. So we're hearing this snare, the bleed of it going into the drum bus as a result of the signal we're sending to the snare bus. So here's the snare bus. my mastering engineer is always like, what's the point of the drum bus? Just, I don't know. I think it's adding a little bit of that parallel compression distortion, and it's faint too on the snare bus, and I think it's good going through the drum bus. So I'm good with the setup. So let's roll with that for now. Okay, let's check this open hat. It sounds like we've done nothing. Yeah. Let's gain stage it up. Take out the low. I want to see how this sounds going to the stereo bus. Getting mad heartburn, man. I must have ate something weird. Give me a second. Shit's crazy. You have to pop out the Tums. All right. I think we're close to being ready to arrange this. I do want to touch up the snare pattern a bit, but we can do that after. All right, I think we got everything we need. Oh yeah, I wanted to check out. Yeah, that's why it sounds weird, because it's got this reverb shit on it. And it's also not maximized, so. Okay, so let's check our gain stage on that snare now that we've used the volume maximizer in machine, just to make sure it's not doing anything crazy. Okay, I think this is good. All right, let's go back into, well, let's save. Let's go back into machine. Oh, we need to get out of this view. I always get confused by this. Pattern. There we go. Okay, so let's start drum programming. I'm going to edit this a bit once we drag the MIDI notes into here. So let's do that. We're going to click on this like we do all the time. MIDI. These are all the MIDI things. From pad 1 to 16. Let's just play these, make sure that. Okay, so it's all there, so we can get rid of all of these because to avoid any phasing. Okay, all set. I definitely need to find a vocal, but we can get to that later. All right. What am I doing? All right. All right. So I want to address the snare pattern because I think we can do some cool variation on it. So I just copied the one clip here. And we'll double click this. This will now show us the MIDI notes for the snare pattern that I just copied. And let's just mess around with it. Let's see what we got. I think we can move this over. Oh, those are super low. Get a little swing on this note. Just move it around a bit. It's coming in a little too early. Yeah. Okay, so that's a good variance there. Let's just color that a little different. I think I might do a 2-4-1-2, just 2 and a 4. See what we get out of this one. Probably want to go a little sparse here. I just want bop, bop, dop, dop, dop. So you can get rid of that. I think we can get rid of that. Perfect. Color that a little different. All right. And I just want a cool 2-4, meaning it's just the 2 and a 4. It's a little ghost note there. It's super low. So I like that. This is all going to play out nicely later. Give me another. It's going to sound very similar, but this note will be gone. So we almost kind of just did this thing in reverse where we took the more complicated stuff, started with that first, and you can see we progressively remove notes. So there's that one, then there's that, less notes. So I want to make sure that these all play nicely with this underlying snare. So let's just listen. far, so good. Okay, so all of that is playing nicely. So let's save. Oh, thank God. Heartburn is going down. That shit is deadly. My old age, that heartburn is just kicking when I eat certain things at a certain speed. It's crazy. If you're young, you will not be able to appreciate what I just shared. But geez, this is just, oh, had to hit it with 2 tums. Okay. All right. So I think we're good to arrange this. The beauty of this is we got like, 32. We got a body right here. This is like first drop here. So I'm just going to take all this, move it over. I'm going to keep the automation that we recorded with noise. That's all noise stuff going on over here. It's all noise shit. So glad that's done. All right, so we can pretty much, what's this? Hold on. Just want to make sure we've got this nailed up right. Yeah, okay, good. I was just checking to make sure that this was processing the kick, this lane here, because this is also there. And anyway, let's just call this audio 5 because it's confusing me. Okay, let's get into this. Let's see if I can get away with halving this. We're gonna go for 32. Oh, I like that. It's nice and disco-y. I can't believe I left. There's like a kick there, man. You can hear that shit. Okay, so one thing we need for sure is track spacer on certain instruments. Let's just get this done now so I do not forget and need to worry about it. The beauty of mixing along. All right, we could just test it here where the kick is. Fast attack, fast release. And we need to set up track spacer for the beat breaks as well. So let's check these out. I might sidechain the whole damn thing. That over here. And this as well. The ASM. Pretty sure this has low frequency information in there. Yeah, it does. Also has resonance, which we can take care of later. But it needs a sidechain. done. Beautiful. Side chain is in place. All right. So we got our half main loop. Let's just rock that up to there. So I already know what I'm gonna do. I'll open it up just before the start of the next 16 bars, which is this clip here. So it should give us that. Let me see. Oh, this is the noise filter. It's crazy. So because it's the noise filter, we know these numbers don't necessarily align with what's actually going on. I just wanted to open up a little, so I'm hoping the character of what I'm drawing here will give me the effect that I'm looking for. All right, let's just play this back from here. That sample is funky, man. Right here. And I want to lower that a bit. Cool. Definitely need a vocal now that we are at this juncture. Let's check out the automation. It's the same. Cool. I think I want to start with this beat break in here. So I think we'll wrap it up. So by ramp up, I mean we'll use automation on the volume of this. And let's start with this. I think it'll be an interesting sound to start with. This definitely needs a delay of some sort. Let's go to, keep forgetting, we can search now, circulate. Need a really long, oh, let's try my effect, Demuir's dub. That's weird. That's so fucking weird. No, let's, I don't know what it's doing to the sound there. That's so funny. Let's gallop. Okay, that works. Looks like we're gonna have to bring this other beat break. Yeah. Or we're doing the 2/4 snare. Or maybe just the under snare. That's another thing. I noticed I don't have claps in here yet. But we can grab that from Loop Cloud. That just sounds dead on its own, so I don't want to do that. What about this? Thinking it might have to be the beat break. Yeah, It'll have to be this beat break. It just sounds more interesting. I think it'll sound much more interesting than what we're currently getting. So move this over there. Actually, I want this to start here. So I think I might end up using this ASM sound like a crash. But what we can do, we'll introduce the bass. Should be able to just get a little touch of the bass. This definitely needs track spacer. Hits harder here. Let's try that. We just need it there. When it's all set up, it'll kick in with the kick here. But yeah, I like the bass line in this area. So continuing along here. Yeah, vocal's going to be super important for this cut. And we'll put the ASM hit there. I'm going to move these other two out of the way just because I don't know where I want to put them yet. Drag the kick here. Wow, so this is actually 64 bars of a body already. So we're basically a full 2 minutes into the track, which is great. So let's just bring the bass line over here. Let's do this efficiently. I'm going to drag this bass over. And I don't want to give all of the snare stuff yet. So the way I see this going down is our 2/4 snare will be the thing that kicks in first. Probably do it twice. Well, how many of them are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 variations on our snare pattern. So it's great. We could do like 2 of each of 4, and then just one of the, we can say, okay, this one is only going to play once, but the others will play twice in a sequence. The cat is acting up again. So the best way to know is just to experiment. I am going to delay the open hat by 1 bar here because that's just something I like to do at the start of the first body at the track. I do feel like we should add this sort of ghost note snare a little later. Wow, this is how I know this template is old. It's still got the punch box lane here. I'm just going to hide that. Wow. So we have a couple of choices here. So I'm going to do something I haven't done in a while, but I know the clap sound I want. I want it to come from a machine. So I'm just going to program those in here now. Um, and then we'll drag those MIDI notes in for our consumption later. So, right. So I got my 2/4 clap, and then I usually have one just behind it because it just adds a natural groove to it. I am going to try and swing those. I haven't done that in a very long time. So I put that behind. This one is behind. Akita, man. I had to let you go outside. Okay, come here. I'm working here, girl. All right, back. Okay, so let's make sure we are maximizing whatever sounds we decide to go for. I like a natural sounding clap. This is too, it's too like drum machine clap, and that's not what I want to go for. Select acoustic drums, clap with acoustic characterization. I like that one. Just wonder if we'll be able to hear it. This is good for the... Okay, so let's go with that as the first clap. We'll do this one as the backing. Let's listen. We'll have to tune these. Why isn't this letting me tune? There we go. Let's listen to it against the kick. I'll know better then. Okay, so I think we got it. Let's gain stage these up. I'm gonna add some punch to it. Transient punch. There we go. Okay, I like how those claps are sounding. I'm gonna try the swing. I'm gonna try a swing technique on those. Oh, I gotta get out of draw mode. Here we go. Just highlight all of these. Actually, I don't need to highlight them. Let's move that up a little. Let's see what we get. All right, swung it a little bit. It should come out like when we drag and drop these in here. It should come with the swing already embedded. I'm just going to drop that back to 0. We all know if it's swung a bit is by looking at the notes themselves in here. No, so it doesn't work that way. Okay, so that's good to know. It only swings like at the instrument level, not at the overall VST level here, right? Every time I swung it, you can never see it on screen, but like with the close hat, for example, pad 4, I always swing the hell out of that, like 30-40%. And I know when I drag and drop it out in here, you can see the notes are moving around a little bit loosely. Whereas with this, we swung it up here and we dragged it out, and we could see there's no real swinging going on. You'll know there's swinging going on when it veers a little bit away from the markers themselves. So like I'll show you now. So let's just get rid of these since we have our MIDI notes. It's all set. I wonder if it's going to do it because it's like so. Yeah, it ain't going to move too much. Now, I had some other, like these are pretty cool, like the, what was it, swing, see? Yeah, but it won't move it. That's interesting. Let's see if it'll move this. I'm genuinely curious now. Yeah, it's not going to do much, and it's fine. We have like one clap rather on the 2 and 4, and then we got another like literally right behind each of those at a 132 tuplet. So that's why it sounds like it's 2 people and they're tuned different. So anyway, that was my little foray to see what kind of swing we can get out of it. And as you can see, it wasn't much, if any at all. Those are already going to the drum bus. Still gonna dirty it up, like I said earlier. I just threw some distortion on that. Bring it down a little bit. Okay, I think with this, we can, I'm thinking like from a DJ perspective as we arrange this, just how we could keep the arrangement interesting and engaging. So I've decided, after 4 bars, we'd bring in the claps. And then drop it out here and then bring it back into drop. So let's listen. It will sound like a French touch record. And then claps. I do want to do an open hat drop. Just do it right here. Like shortly after it comes in, I think it'll be cool to Actually, and I'm gonna split that up. So I'll have like two of it playing there. And then I'm gonna use it to introduce the beat break here. So you'll see what I mean. Let's listen. That open hat sounds like there's a lot of... No, it's fine. Gotta put that underlying snare right here. Like there's nothing in this arrangement, and within this arrangement that would make it predictable. That's what I like. Okay, so far so good. Let's get these claps ready for the drop. So this 2/4 snare sounds like it's landing in the right spot, which is 8 bars after the drop. So the question is the underlying snare good where it is right at the drop? Let's listen. And it is. So the 2/4 snare comes in, we'll let it do that a minimum of 2 times. Why does this look weird? Oh, because the open hat started later. It's just fine. So let's go over here. And this is like a variation on the 2/4, if memory serves me right. And then we can go over here. And let's just see how that makes us feel. Not how that's supposed to play. Why is it doing that? Oh, because it's kind of... No, it should play evenly. Oh, that's why. See it here. I think I see it. Yeah, so for whatever reason... this got shortened. That's weird. All right. This is fucked up. Hold up. Here we go. It should line up with this snare. That's why it sounded so weird. So. Okay, let's listen again. I like what happened there where the snare kind of drops out. I guess it was meant to be. Bring that over there. And then we can do another variation. Do that twice. Go to this one. Do that once. Go back to this. This is the fun of this shit, like, because it's definitely going to be something different than, you know, some predictable snare pattern, which brings me great joy. And I won't mention names, but there's some records where it's just boring ass, same ass drum loop over a different loop. So yeah, man. Let's fill this out. Let's go back to this. Let's just see how it sounds. I'm super curious how this is gonna sound. First 64 bars, yo. And I love there's like a ghost note drop here. That's cool. So, and so early too in the arrangement. Let's go. Jacked up. Yeah. Change up. Love it. Yeah. So now that I've heard that back, I'm very comfortable with that, with the drum programming we've done there. I do, however, want to pull this ghost note snare down. It just sounds a little too loud. Where it's going, that one. I want it faint in the background, but present. Yeah, I love that ghost note drop. It's so crazy. We're gonna throw that ASM back in there. But this vocal's gotta be primo. The vocal we find for this has gotta like stand out in business with, because there's just the drums, the sample, there's just a lot of dynamic stuff. So the vocals just gotta stand out solid. I have an idea of what I want to do because my homie Toronto Hustle played me this track that I shopped around. I think it's gonna come out on Wolf Music. They're like just move the camera. They're like a vinyl label out of the UK, I believe. Anyway, the vocal is so dope on that record and the way he used it, and I think I know who it is because I have the actual vinyl. Super rare record, and I know I sampled a lot of stuff from it. I used it before other stuff, but because it's a poet and his vocal and his voice is so distinct, man, there's definitely got to be something we can find. All right, let's listen back. We got the ASM drop here. Yeah. So this ASM needs to touch twice. Now that I've heard this, it needs to touch twice. So it's touching twice. It's touching twice there. 64 bars. We'll bring the ASM back here. This does need like an 8-bar break somewhere here. So actually, before I do that, I'll copy all that and just bring it over here. Just because I've copied all the automation there. I don't want to do that again. It's crazy work for 64 bars. So we'll have these 8 bars here. Let's move that there. And let's just see what we are. I'm going to try and do a time stretch thing on this ASM. I just want to be careful I'm not killing the same thing throughout it, but I think it should work. Let's listen. Okay, so therefore we don't need to do these here. Now that I know that that works, we time stretched it. We just have this come over here. So a little drop. So we got no beat biters on the sample in the breakdown. Bring it back for another 64 bars. Here's our kick. And we could do like that instrument introduction stuff where I throw some stuff in and then I pull it back out. Then bring all this back in. I do think we'll have the we'll delay the open hat again, but the snare stuff probably I'll have this go 1, 2 again. Do it again here. Huh. I'm just debating on my ghost note friend here. Where should I drop that? Actually, no, here. Need to line it up, man. There we go. Put it. No, don't do that. Ghost note friend right there. Claps. Bring that in. And then after this, I'm not going to do another breakdown. I'm just going to let it roll into a baseline breakdown. Because I like that baseline is. Let's see if we could get away with no vocal for a while. Maybe after the first 32 bars, which would put, what would that be? 90. How many bars is this? Should be 60, 64 bars. Oh, it's 32 bars. My bad. That's 32 as well. Why was I reading that as like 64 bars? Okay. So I'm not sure where and when I want to introduce the ASM again, but we'll let feeling sort of describe that. So let's go from the breakdown. Gave us a little bit of a baseline breakdown there. So now that I've seen it, I know where noise was. Yep, it was down here. So this is perfect. That's what we're gonna do. Trigger the baseline and beats break down here, and then let it open up later. Outro. Perfect. Just making some room here. We don't run out of space. All right, so we got one body breakdown, another body. So I want to copy this. And we'll have the ASM kick it there. I want the first part of this to be in that nice little baseline breakdown right there. That's 8 bars. Start taking off around here. And then it'll start going crazy. So let's listen to it from back here. I'm gonna delay the bass too. It's kind of like a bass down breakdown, but it isn't. It's just a variation where we taking out some elements. Maybe we'll do it for the first 4 bars. And when that bass line comes back in, we're gonna go to the most the most elaborate part of the snare programming. So there's a nice little bit of breathing here. And what's cool about this arrangement is that it's starting to point out where we could place vocals. Like we could place it here, the breakdowns, right? Every 8 bars have a vocal thing, do something. We got room in here. So we could effectively start to envision where we want to place this stuff depending on what vocal we get. So let's continue. Let's go. This is good work. All right, so let's listen to this breakdown. Oh no, what I was saying before I forget. We're basically gonna move this dynamic jacking snare, and I know these are the dynamic jacking snares because we colored the clips, right? And this is where the snare sort of winds down a little bit. These ones over here. Yeah, we'll come back to it. Let's just see how it sounds first. Great. Have our answer right there. We just repeat these two to fill that space out, and then I think we'll do this. I love this random ghost note thing where it just it's playing and then the note drops out. I just love shit like that. It's almost like a real player fucking up somewhere. I don't want to hit him with it twice. That wouldn't be... Oh, it would be cool. But it's a good change up. So let's just bring this one over. This is the full. So we hit him with the ghost note there. And then... oh man, it's to the ghost note. I just want... okay, it's all good. I should be able to do that. Oh, that's why. My bad. The other snare should be there. There it is. Okay, good. So we have that snare there. And then I think we should be good to do these two here. All right, let's listen to that. Let's see how it sounds. Break. Yeah. Yeah. Baseline. Just right now, I'm very focused on the snare pattern. I want to see how this feels. Okay. So I think we're good to basically repeat the snare pattern as is, like this piece here. Like, might need to extend some stuff, but how many bars is this? Let's check that first. This is 28 bars. Okay, so we're just missing 4 bars for 32, which is easy to do. I think all I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna make space for 4 bars here. And I love doing shit like this. So do that and then do that. Just variation. Like nobody will be able to say, "Oh, this is what the snare does," unless they're listening 5 million times to catch everything. And at the same time, this is what keeps the record interesting. Okay, so we have that. We know this is where the bass line breakdown was sort of happening, so we want the full thing here because it has our automation on the main loop. I want to do that. Carry this over here. Our long ASM kicked in there. So everything's just gonna rock right here. I'm just gonna pull the bass line back a little bit before this next part of the body. Just a bit, like halfway against the main loop. Actually, we'll do it all. It's all the drop. That should come across nicely in the arrangement. All right, so we're here. Let's delay the ghost note snare. I think that works. Everything else is right there on point. I noticed here we left out the open hat. Now let's just listen and see how that feels. I didn't even notice it until now, so. Yeah, I screwed this up a little bit, but maybe it's supposed to happen that way. Hold on. Bring. Yeah, so these are the jack snares. That's okay. We'll push these out to the end here. And maybe it's just dropping it from here. Oh, come on, don't do that. There we go. Oh, okay. So it should work. All together with feeling. Actually, we'll do a different variation here. So I'm going to take these two. This one's going to get chopped because we're doing that drop here. We'll do those two. There we go. There we go. There we go. And there we go. And then our outro is basically going to be here. So I'm just going to move, well, copy rather, undo. Let's see what happens. I just want to see if I can get a variation off of the main loop here. See what it sounds like. You know what I'm going to do? We're going to go back to this. Yes. And this works out well because it indicates, hey, this is the end of the song. Pretty much. And we'll drag and drop that over here. Done. For 6 minutes. And then it's just a matter of what stuff we're reducing or fading out or pulling out altogether. So for here, I'll let it do that, but here there'll be a straight ramp down. We'll try and get it here. If necessary, we'll use the volume on this track. So yeah, I think yeah, so shit. I haven't had the open hat in here since the breakdown, so we definitely need it. We're gonna have it start on the one here. This simple pattern here. Just throwing some random, we'll throw this in there. Fun. How many bars is this? Okay, so that's cool. But it'll all be gone by 193. Keep the claps right to the end. We'll keep the underlying snare up until halfway here. Open hat, maybe only up till there. Bass line needs to be gone by then. Good old friend, the ASM, acting like a crash snare, will take us out. And this should work. Perfect. This is every DJ's dream. Like, the kick just comes out naturally for them. We just focus on the mix at this point. Perfect. All right, done and dusted. The song is done in there. Bio break. I've been drinking a lot of water today. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. That had to get done. All right. Let's find our good old friend, Mr. Vocal. Damn, it's taking a while to load up. All right, let's see if we can find this shit. Oh, come on. Vocals. Where you at?
Condone, providing you hurt no one else, you're within your right to be wrong.
What a voice, huh? I haven't seen a record in a while. I gotta find it. I gotta make sure I still got that in the collection, yo. All right. I'm gonna put the vocal here. Serato sample. Because I want to find random chops of this vocal. I believe in energy, yo. Okay. So screen. Serato sample. Might be able to get into the action cam for this one. It's our action cam scene. I'm just getting it set up here. Oh, it's not a bad view. All right, we're gonna shift this over to MIDI. Turn yellow.
Forced entity. Forced entity.
Oh, that sounds cool. What is that?
Forced entity. Forced entity. Forced entity. Forced entity. Compassion for others be your guide. Passion for others be your compassion. Compassion for others be your guide.
Get rid of the kick. Times we live in, man. Man, you can just stem this shit. Sorry, that was my water bottle. You can just stem this shit out. Now, back in the day, we had to EQ the drums out, isolate it somehow in the 90s.
Passion for others was never meant. Was touched by the hand of God. Some was left to the beast. Was touched by the hand of God.
I love that. I like that.
Touched by touched by the hand of God. For all to be the same. Back to another. Every man's lane. And the priest. Not all was touched by the hand of God. And the priest. And the priest.
I like that. Not all.
Not all was touched by the hand of God.
Oh, that sounds dope. Let's pitch it down.
Not all was touched by the hand of God.
Actually, let's get it in key with the main sample. Let's see. Oh, this is crazy. It's already in key.
Not all. Not.
Just I shifted it down one, and it's in key with the main sample. So I like this.
Not all is touched by the hand of God.
Not all touched by the hand of God. I love that.
Alone, entity.
Energy. I like that chop too.
Entity.
Make sure we gain stage this.
Entity.
Turn that up.
Entity.
We will compress this. I'm actually curious. See. Where did I first find out about this record? I think it was a Pete Rock interlude. Like back in the day, man. Digging for records. Pete Rock put an interlude on and talked to some friends. And they would find it. Yeah, see, this is beauty. Obama ain't on he ain't on Apple Music. Or is it this? Hold up. Yeah, he ain't on Apple Music. You gotta find that shit. If you know, you know. You gotta find that shit. That record is super rare. Okay, let's continue.
Themselves find love and understanding, and if it's through their weakness they find a love that is strong, then I dare not entity. Alone, no one else. No one else. Not all is touched by the hand of God.
I love that.
Not all touched by the hand of God.
See, we can like advance it.
Not all touched by the hand of God.
Action cam's moving a little bit. But yeah.
Not all touched by the hand of God.
Let's check the next group over.
For all to be the same. Respect to another. Not all touched. Decides. It would deprive them both of the right to be wrong, the right to wrong, and explanations for the things you do. Justification is you're doing them because you're you. It's for the things you do. Justification?
You saying justification? You make a little story out of these things. That's what I love.
Justification is you're doing them because you're you. Because you're you.
Check the last bank.
That's your position.
Ooh, what is that? That is dope. Well, you know we're using that. Okay, let's go back to the screen and let's just see where we can play that. So, the good thing about having that, discovering that sound, is I know it can help me get away from this use of this ASM chord quite a bit. I was a little worried that I had it a bit too much. Like it's here, it's here, it's over here in the intro. So what I'm going to do is record. So first off, we need to, it's gain stage, right? No, we need to bring it down. Or maybe that chop, but let's get rid of, don't need that, just need this percolating stuff in here. Call it Fox and sound. We do need recirculate. I like the delay we got going there, so let's just bring that over. That's beautiful. And we can play with the feedback, like here. I love that dubby shit, man. I don't know, man. Those dubby sort of delays are gets me, man. Okay, I think we need to start the track with that. So we'll, in this case, we'll do the effect. We'll do the compressor after the effect, just so it keeps it even with the vocal performance too, if you know what I mean. I love this compressor so much. So it's a weird sound, but we're dealing with it as a vocal compressor, and the reason why is the recording is a vocal. So it'll just keep everything balanced. At least that's what I'm hoping for. So let's just color this chop. Do it red. There we go. And then the ASM will come in there. It's perfect. And then we'll do this here because I don't want the ASM to show up again until the breakdown. And we'll do this at the drop. We'll use the ASM as the drop here for the baseline breakdown. We'll put this percolating sound right in the middle of that. The cat. Yo, chill out. Being super disruptive lately. Like, okay. Yeah, I like this. Do that the drop there. Do it in the middle here. Like, I mean, the vocal a vocal piece might happen there. And I also think it's a good way to introduce. DJs like this sort of thing from a timing perspective. So you see this, we know this, what is that, 16 bars to the actual end of the track. Yeah. So they like, as a DJ, from my perspective as a DJ, I like what are cues to say there's a change happening because you're at this point in a record. So, you know, you sort of know how to manage accordingly. So that's what this is. It's a cue to say, hey, I'm pulling out certain instruments. It's just going to be the claps and a couple beat breaks, and you need to make sure you need to make sure you're mixing out by this point in time. All right, so we got those there. We definitely, as I said earlier, we got space here to do stuff with the vocal in these areas. So here, definitely here in the breakdown. So let's see what we got. Let's refamiliarize ourselves with what we got here.
Because you're you. Justification is you're doing them because you're you.
Feedback is. Might have to automate that later. We'll see.
Justification is you're doing them because.
All right.
Justification is you're doing them because you're you. You're you.
It's the other one. This is the first bank.
You're alone. You're alone. No. In it.
I like that.
In it. Forced to give. Between themselves find love and understanding. And if it's through their weakness they find us alone, no one else. Not all is touched by the hand of God.
Oh, I love that. So
In it.
energy, not all touched by the hand of God.
Decide. It would deprive them both the right to be wrong and ignorance for the thing. Not all is touched by the hand of God. Justification is you're doing them because you're you.
I don't know. I might keep it simple with just the energy chop.
Subject to another. Not all is touched by the hand of God.
There we go. I like that. Like
Not all
it sounds a little low. So let's just record us. Not there. Over here. Okay. I might remove this ASM in this area here because I want the vocal to be loud enough, right? So wow, that's super low. All right, so when that sort of stuff happens, we need to just turn up the slice.
Not all.
And just pay attention to the gain stage when you've done that. So
Not all.
I don't know why it sounds so light.
Not all.
Oh, that's why.
Not all.
It's a cut too
Not
deep.
all. Not all. Not all. Not all.
And it's a male vocal, so
Not all. Not all.
let's listen to
Not all.
wow.
Touch. Not all. Not.
We added like 5 dB there.
Touch by the hand of God. Not all touched by the hand of not all touched by the hand of God.
Wow. I think we'll need to put a limiter on this, which is fine for a vocal. Let's get the L2. So limiter. I wonder if it, curious if it, no, that's the logic limiter. Fab filter. I love this. Look at this. It just incredible. All right, so let's go for default mixing vocals, natural limiting. Let's see what we got.
Not all touched by the hand of God. Not all touched by the hand of God. Not all touched by the hand of God. Not all touched by the hand of God.
Okay, at least we got that. Let's color that. Let's do it different. Just so I know what it is. We need to record that energy thing.
Compassion, energy.
I'm just gonna drop this randomly at different places.
Not all touched by the energy.
Baby, this cat is bugging out today. So we definitely need to. Should be interesting. I'm going to pull up my male EQ. I have a nice set of presets. Male. We actually need more of a higher shelf here to distinguish what's going on. Actually, I'm going to switch this up. Let's try Pro Q4. Pro Q4. Let's get a male vocal preset just to start us off. Oh, it just says vocal. All right. Let's see. Need it more up here. So I'm just worried with the EQ moves I'm making here. How is this going to sound? Probably get away with it, but I might have to break it out into a separate.
Not all touched by the hand of God. Not all touched by the hand of God.
I almost think the vocal needs to move a little faster. So time stretch it a little faster. So that sounds all right. And it might work better where there's just less activity happening in the track. So it's probably good here. Like, yeah, you hear it's much more audible to the ear because there's not all these other competing frequencies, and it's a small snippet. I've already made the decision that this is the hook.
Not all touched by the hand of God.
Not all are touched by the hand of God, right? I think that's a more powerful vocal that I want to make sure people hear and understand. So let's color this. That energy is cool, but it doesn't need to be this prevalent part of the vocal. Let's see. Let's test it out in the breakdown here.
Not all touched by the hand of God.
This sound doesn't make sense in this area. It's not a drop sort of sound. And here, I'm going to try and make this more intense by slicing that out, and it just should be the vocal going through. Let's
Energy. Not all touched by the hand of God.
Yeah, I like that. And I'm just gonna throw that right there.
Energy. 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 Not all touched by the hand of God.
So this open hat needs to happen earlier, as I see it. All right, let's see how this percolating sound does right here. Okay, that works there. It's just not a sound for the drop. Energy right there. I'm gonna drop that here.
Energy. Energy. Not all touched by the hand of God.
I think we'll just do touch by the hand of God right there. So just gonna have to go in. It's the MIDI on it.
Touched by the hand of God. Touched by the hand of God. Touched by the hand of God.
That is sick. What a voice. All right, so let's color that one different again so we know what it is. I'm gonna go a little lower here. Actually, no, I'll go right over there. There we go.
Touched by the hand of God. Touched by the hand of God.
Just listening to the snare, I'm wondering. I think we should. Let's go to. Well, switch over from MIDI. we should tighten it up. I think that's better, but I also think probably should tune it. Okay, so let.
Touched by the hand of God.
Okay, don't fix it if it ain't broke. All right, so we'll leave that.
Touched by the
But I
hand
did
of God.
pull the tail of the snare back a bit. Oh, there's something in that snare.
Touched by the hand of God.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there for now. When we do the final mixdown, I might change it, but I'm going to leave it there.
Touched by the hand of God.
I mean, let me know if y'all think it should be tuned down again, but
Touched by
this is
the
what
hand
happens.
of
You hear
God.
it's just because we've been at this for a little while.
Not all touched by the hand of God.
Okay, that's the outro. I think we got everything we need. So I'm going to end it here. I hope you enjoyed this one. This was episode 214, where we took a sketch, completed it, got it done, made the full track, and I think I will record a little bonus thing just to show how I set up the mix buses for this, because it's an older template, and my tops, low, and music bus is not, well, the music bus is there, but it's not set up, so that'll probably be the easiest one. But we need to get a tops in here, so we got music here, and we need to put like a tops and a low, and then pretty much good to mix this thing down. All right, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Much love. Peace.